Welcome back for the markets. The Nifty Bank is now moved into the red, and that's led lower by a couple of their heavyweights. We have HDFC Bank as well as ICICI Bank, which is currently at the low point of trade. But what's supporting the financials are the Bajaj twins. We have a big move coming in on Bajaj Finance as well as Bajaj Finserv, even as the metals do well, which is supporting the Nifty, which is up around 56 odd points. But it is the last day of the year, so we also look back at the year that was 2022, it was definitely a year of reckoning for the box office. I mean, Bollywood faced one surprise after another as films with pan-India appeal did smash box office records. We had big-ticket mainstream Hindi films which failed to rake in collections. Truly, it was the year where the box office came of age. A lot of things happened. We had a lot of the South Indian movies do extremely well as well. So let's go across to Vahishta, who's rounded up all the hits and misses of the year that was.
After 2 consecutive years of clouded growth, 2022 finally brought some sunshine to the cinemas. The start of this year suffered the lack of quality content, leading to low footfalls at the theatres. These led to a dent in box office collections, supported by Indians shifting preference towards consuming content on OTT apps. Even as Indian moviegoers hit the theatres, footfalls at leading multiplexes remained below pre-pandemic levels. But Hindi films like Gangubai Kathiawadi and Alia Bhatt Starrer started pulling the crowd back into the theatres, clearly spelling out that quality content is supreme. This movie made solid collections of 129 crores. Other blockbusters like Kashmir Files, RRR, KGF Chapter 2 had longer run times at the theatres. While movies like Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, Thor, Brahmastra, Drishyam 2 and Avatar were the big crowd pullers. Although the number of Hindi films crossing 100 crores at the box office this year was less than that of 2019, the pre-COVID year, also because quite a few released on the OTT platforms. But not everything was shining bright in 2022. We also saw some major disappointments from films with high expectations like Aamir Khan starrer Lal Singh Chaddha, Vijay Deverakonda's Liger, and the Akshay Kumar starrer Raksha Bandhan. Each of these movies managed to clock about 20 to 60 crores as their lifetime collections. But as we end this year, Avatar: The Way of Water was the much-awaited movie and performed just as expected. Opening day collections at 41 crores were the second highest this year, only after KGF Chapter 2. Elara Capital expects the movie to clock 500 to 600 crores. Hindi and films which are dubbed into Hindi saw a total box office collections of 3,660 crores until the 22nd of December this year. That is thrice the previous year's number, but at 65% of the pre-COVID year 2019. A revival in footfalls in December has definitely boosted this number in 2022. This year, multiplex stocks have also seen some good momentum when compared with the broader markets. In fact, PVR and Inox have trained their focus on opening new screens and offering unparalleled movie-watching experiences. So as the curtain comes down on this year, are you heading to the theatres this weekend?
Are we heading to the theatres this weekend? Vaishta, thanks a lot for that. Not quite actually, because the movies that released this weekend have not, made me want to go to the theatres. And that actually is the question that we'll pose to the guests.
Avatar, if it's still running. Have you seen the...
I haven't seen.
It's over 3-hour movie, so...
Exactly, 3 hours, and before that it's an hour of planning, going, parking, etc. Let's ask these questions to Raj Nayak, who joins in, who's the founder of House of Cheer Networks, and Abneesh Roy, the executive director at Nuvama Institutional Equities as well. The bar for going to a theatre has risen way too much, Abneesh. I mean, people are used to great quality content, the comforts of their house, the infrastructure to go to the theatre, park, spend money, all of that is just making people stay away from the theatres. I mean, in a situation like this, what does one do?
Yeah, thanks. Mangalam, this is a fair point. Pre-COVID versus now, clearly consumer has got more choices in OTT. Infrastructure is also booming in every metro city, but that also brings its own teething troubles. So yes, definitely there are challenges which are there. So that's why we are seeing, Mangalam, that definitely good content is working. And that's why South Indian content or Avatar has clearly done quite well. In Q3, we expect very good recovery for PVR and Inox versus a Q2, but it will be lower than the Q1. Definitely in Q4 also, as of now, to me, it looks a bit challenging because social media boycott is clearly a new concern. So that is going to definitely impact some of the movies which are going to come, say, in January. And in February and March, we do have a lull because of the education and exams, etc. So yes, FY24 is looking good because there are learnings for the Hindi movie industry that you cannot have 70 to 80% of the budget going towards one or two celebrity, and then you compromise on the content, VFX, marketing. So there are learnings definitely. In terms of positive, I think clearly the Hindi belt has taken into consuming regional content. OTT, I think Netflix and Amazon are cutting cost in India given global slowdown. And there is a 2 month of now window between OTT and cinema. So I think both will do well. But yes, compelling content is what is still missing in the Hindi. And that's why Circus itself is not doing so well.
Okay, that's about the
So we
box
remain
office.
positive, but
Sure,
yes.
you remain positive. All right, that's about the box office. But media and entertainment in general, right? There's so much that has happened in the year gone by. Raj Naik is also with us. He's a veteran of the industry. Raj, morning and greetings of the season to you. There are large players, sort of well-entrenched players now getting into this industry in a big way. Reliance, in fact, recently said that they're looking to integrate their media and entertainment business with digital services. The Adani Group is getting into the news space in a big way. How do you see the dynamics of this industry changing?
Before I answer, greetings of the season to you, to Sonia, and to everybody else here. But before I answer your question, I just want to take on the cinema thing. I think we are overplaying it a bit. If you look at 2019, pre-COVID, 1.2 billion people went to cinema theaters, right? 2021 was a washout, and 2022, if we see the trend now, there have been hits and misses, but don't look at Hindi cinema and South Indian cinema as separate entities, but look at Indian cinema. It is still trending at around 800,000, 800 to 900,000 by the end of 31st March. I mean, if you take fiscal year. I would like to believe that it will come back, and we shouldn't look at cinema as South and North. We should look at it as holistically. So it doesn't matter where the footfalls are coming from, as long as cinema is growing. Yes, it is a challenge for Bollywood, and I'm sure they'll recover. Now, answering your question as to big daddies coming into the media industry, I think it's not just unique to India. It's a global norm. It's happening everywhere. And one of the things that has happened is, if you look at television as a business, viewership is getting fragmented, especially in the news genre. You see that more and more people are now looking at digital form of news rather than watching mainstream news channel. And you can see that in the numbers. Same thing when it comes to general entertainment. While television still remains the largest distributed, largest reach platform, OTT content, people have more choice. So again, there are a lot of people going to OTT and watching it because there is fresh content all the time as compared to television, where it's more of the same. But having said that, I think both will coexist, and it will still take a lot of time for OTT to catch up with.
Right. Raj, from a business standpoint, where do you think it makes more sense to be? I mean, digital, while it is gaining traction, it's still not as remunerative as far as the revenues are concerned in terms of ad revenues, etc. And cinemas, yes, people are going to the movie theaters, but movie production houses aren't making money because of the high content production, high talent costs. So how does one be in the business of content production and media?
Digital, whilst is growing much faster than television because of the sheer base. But if you look at advertisers today, for them, the first preference of choice is still television because of its wide reach. When it comes to content and how do you remain in the business of content if the talent costs are going up, that is a reality. And I think that is a reality check that has happened now, especially with OTT coming into play. What it has demonstrated is just big names won't sell anymore. You need good content, you need good story, you need good production values, and that has been demonstrated. So I think, my friend from Edelweiss mentioned that, Netflix and Amazon are cutting costs. I think that will happen for the simple reason, I think that initial euphoria of going and spending big bucks, going after just big names and big stars, I think that is going to change. Content is going to get democratized. It has already got democratized. Talent is also got democratized. I think what will happen is as the talent costs keep going up, you'll find new talent coming in, because at some point it's going to be difficult to have the same talent, same faces. And one of the things OTT does is gives you an opportunity, and it has given a lot of people opportunity to bring in completely new talent, whether it is directors, whether it is writers, whether it is actors, into the main fold.
You know, I put out a piece on the anatomy of a movie ticket, which said that only a third of the prices that you and I pay for a movie ticket reaches the producers of the film. So for a film to actually break even, post the publicity expenses and all of that and stuff, the gross collection should be 4 times the production cost of the movie. So all those pictures that, we were seeing of movies getting over
Crossing
100, 200, 300 crores, we need to also know what is the production cost of that movie.
Yeah.
And if it is more than 4 times that, only then the movie has made money.
Okay, well, since we are here for the viewer, let's also get some ideas out of the way. Abneesh, what are you looking at? How does 2023 look for the media sector, the stocks that you track, and what are the big movers going to be?
Yeah, I think last year has been tough for both broadcasters and multiplexes, but for both the companies, definitely merger is happening. So we'll have a much bigger entity of PVR plus Inox. We don't expect any merger-related uncertainty. Similarly, for Zee and Sony, the technical factor of Zee getting delisted for 6 weeks, I think that is still a concern. So in FY24, we expect rural recovery for FMCG companies, gross margin expansion, NTO2 to drive subscription revenue growth, because last 3 years, there is no subscription revenue growth for the TV broadcaster. So yes, Q3, Q4 will remain challenging for TV broadcasters. But as Raj also highlighted and Mangalam highlighted, there is a digital focus which is very important. That's why we prefer Zee over Sun TV, because Zee is more aggressive on OTT also, and the merged entity will have a must-have in terms of OTT, because Zee plus Sony will be there, and there will be sports also. So yes, Q3, Q4 still looking challenging for the broadcasters, and to an extent multiplexes in terms of Q4 also.
Right. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining in and giving us the insight on the content space. Of course, as business analysts, we will be watching out for the business, but as content lovers, we just hope that there is great content, irrespective of the platforms, for us to watch in 2023. Raj, Abneesh, wish you a very happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Let's move on. Let's talk about the logistics space now. It's been in focus for a while. Remember, Nirmal Bang spoke about